beautiful people. I hope you're having a lovely day. And as you probably saw from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about what we read in the month of July. This year has just gone by so fast, and I actually didn't even write an intro. So we're going to talk about 11 books, and we're going to talk about our ratings on them. And one of them I even forgot to write in my little script, so I'll be ad-libbing that one. So we'll see how that goes. Again, we had a wonderful reading month. I have completed, as of right now, 85 of my 100 book goal. So I am just cruising through, getting them, and really having a good time the whole time I'm doing it. So that's wonderful. I am holding my mic. I'm probably going to attach it to my shirt, though, because that's going to get annoying. My shirt's going to look a little funky, but we'll be okay. I just want to keep my hair out of it. So let's get to it. So the month of July was a killer month. That's so funny because the first book I'm going to talk about is Finley Donovan is Killing It by Ella Cosmano. Casamano. I'm butchering that, but it's okay. So this was a great little cozy mystery. I honestly had not read a mystery like this. It was different, and it was different than I read the Thursday Murder Club series, and this was different than that. In the way that Finley was just a character. Okay, she was a single mom. She's trying. She has this ex-husband, and he's now remarried. I think he may have even cheated on her. Yes, he did. He cheated on her. Now he's going to marry this woman, and he's really doing her dirty, right? And she's also an author, and she writes these, I wouldn't say she's like a best-selling author. She's like a mid-rate author, you know. She's meeting with her publisher or agent or whatever in a Panera Bread, and she ends up getting confused, or somebody confuses her conversation as if she's a contract killer. This woman's never killed anybody in her whole entire life. And so this lady slips her this note and this whole thing, and it goes through this whole story, you know. And it was the dynamics, and then the nanny comes in, and it's I can't even go into all of it, but the pacing was great, the plot was great, it left on a cliffhanger, so you want to know, like, where's the story going from here? So I look forward to reading them. This was really good. So I gave it, I believe, I'm going to have to look because I didn't even write it down. I'll look on my Goodreads. I believe I gave it 5 stars, but you know, I give those out pretty easily. So we'll have to see. Hold on. I apologize. I didn't write that down. Oh, I gave it 4 stars. Okay, so I gave it 4 stars. It was still a really good book. Totally recommend it. And it's a great, so far I'm enjoying the series, and I'm looking forward to finishing it. Okay. Alrighty. So the next one was like a reread. I was actually a listen to it on audio. I didn't do the graphic audio this time because honestly, the graphic audio is so backed up on Libby that I was like, I just kind of want to get with it. So I went to the regular audiobook, and it was a lot quicker to get. So I just went with that. I want to get ready for Onyx Storm. So that's why I actually have that on hold to listen to. I don't know. I may listen to it. It's going to be a couple weeks, so I'm not in a real big hurry, but I'm enjoying them. They're, despite everyone's expectations, Violet Sorengel has made it through the first year of training, and she's now a second year. And of course, there's some things that have happened that she knows. So now she not only is coming in this, you know, with this thing with Zayden, you know, and the whole drama there, and then, you know, and you know, she has some secrets, and there's this whole world building, and it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't 5-star, but I gave it a 4-star. I feel like the first time I read it, I probably gave it a 5-star, but this time I gave it a 4-star. I think the more I read fantasy, the more I'm finding what I like, you know. Anyways, I'm like, oh, there's better. Okay, so the next one is actually a short story, which I plan on doing a video of rating short stories that I've read. This is the second short story that I've listened to by Frederick Bachman. It is called The Deal of a Lifetime. And once again, we meet, he can make you feel so much for these characters. His writing is so amazing. Even in this short, I think it was like 40 minutes. I was totally invested by the end, tearing up at the end of this story. He just can do that in such a short span. So when you write longer books, it's worse. I gotta tell you, it's worse. Anyways, this is about lessons in life and death, and he just is an amazing storyteller. And I truly cared how it ended. And this is a story of a man talking to his son, and he's telling his son this story. And I don't want to get into it because, it is a short story, so you can't really say too much without giving away. But I 10 out of 10 recommend you read this. It was a 5-star. It just makes you feel, it gives a perspective on life. I just love the way that Frederick Botman writes. He's just an excellent writer, and he just makes you feel, even in a short span, he can make you feel for these characters. So yes, I'm pretty sure I gave that 5 stars. Okay, the next one I read was The Griffin Sisters' Greatest Hit by Jennifer Weiner. And this is a story about 2 sisters. One is like a musical prodigy, and the other is, well, she's just known for her good looks. She can sing a little bit, but she's not really great. Her sister is the one who is just, and she deals with some issues, like she doesn't like to be on stage and she's really shy, probably somewhere on the spectrum, if that's the right term. I can't keep up. Yeah. So anyways, I deals with some of that stuff, anxiety, things like that. And this is an early 2000s, so it takes place, it's a dual storyline. The first part is the early 2000s, and then it's like 20 years later or 15 years later. And I think it was like, 15, almost 20, because, the main character, 18, almost 20 years later. So it spans over basically 2 decades, this story. And it was a 5-star read. I truly enjoyed it. I loved the characters. I love their stories, and I just really loved the conclusion of the ending. It was really good. So I'm pretty sure I gave that 5 stars. Let me check. Yes, I did. I gave it 5 stars. I didn't write it down. Yes, but I highly recommend that book. I like Jennifer Weiner's. I've only read 2 of her books. This will be the second one. The first one was Big Summer. And I just really love it. It's really good. And okay. It's Christmas, Criminals, and Campers by Tanya Kappas. I probably put some edits in me trying to say that 15,000 times and getting it wrong. So I usually give these books 3 to 3.5 stars. They're not real great, but I like listening to them. I really do enjoy them, but they're not like 5-star reads. And that's okay. Not everything has to be. But do I enjoy them? Yes. But this one I gave 4 stars because it had a twist that I absolutely did not see coming. And usually they don't. And so once again, we're in normal once again, we are in normal Kentucky at the Happy Trails campground. And they're celebrating the holidays. Obviously, it's Christmas. And May did not find a body this time. I'm so happy for her because that girl, she is a body detector, I guess. I don't know how to put that. She's finding dead bodies. Every one of these, she's finding multiple dead bodies. This time, she did not. But what happens is the librarian of the town, Abby, is hosting one of her favorite authors. This author came to the campground because she wanted to get away. They found out she was coming, so they actually asked her to come and do a reading at the library. Well, turns out that that person did not live up to Abby's expectations, and unfortunately, she does end up unalived at the library nonetheless. So now Abby's a suspect. So now the crew has to figure out exactly what happened and how she ended up in this situation. So yes, like I said, I did not expect the ending. There was a twist I did not expect, and it got me. And that's like the first time that's happened with these books. They're usually pretty, like, I don't always know the ending, but there was actually a plot twist, and I kudos for that. So I'm really enjoying them, and they're little novellas. I listened to them on Libby, and I really enjoy them. So yeah, So I gave that a 4 star. Okay. So the next book is All the Other Mothers Hate Me by Sarah Harmon. Now, this is a debut novel by this author. Okay. And it follows a single mom that is an American in London. Okay. And she's a former member of a girl band that has dissolved. And she is a certifiable mess. Okay. And she's got this son and she really loves him. And he is a little bit quirky. And when one of his classmates ends up missing because of past issues with this student and her son, she's worried that her son is going to get blamed. So her and another American mom at the same school end up becoming amateur sleuths to try to solve the mystery. And I can honestly say I did not see the ending coming. The person that ended up doing it was not someone I expected. And I completely didn't know where this story was going. It kept me enthralled the whole time. I'm like, I don't know where this is going. Like she was so good at throwing things in there where you're just like, I don't know, you know, and it was so good. And I really enjoyed it. The characters were wonderful. I hope she writes more books, maybe not even like in a series of this, but I look forward to reading more Sarah Harmon books. She is a great writer. And I gave that, I believe, a 5 stars. And I did. Yeah, no, that was Jennifer Weiner. Hold on. Oh, I gave it 4 stars. That must have been a reason why. Maybe I was feeling guilty because I just hand out 5 stars like they're candy. I don't know. But you know what? It was a good book. Okay, so this book, I've talked about this book in other videos, so I'm going to give a real real small synopsis. And partially because I can't even explain to you the strategy and some of the stuff that goes on in this book. And some people may be able to, but my mind cannot wrap around all that. But I am here for Darrow. Yes, we're talking about Morning Star by Pierce Brown. Once again, they're at it. This is the 3rd book, and it's the original trilogy. Okay. And then he went on and he wrote 3 more books, and he's about to write the 7th book. He also stated that although he is done with Darrow's story, this will be Red God, I guess is the name of it, he said. He's done with Darrow's story. He is not done with this world. So we will have more. And I'm really excited about that because it's a really interesting world. So again, they're fighting against the Gold Society and that rules the world, if you don't know. This was a 5-star read, if you didn't know. And there were times when I laughed and I cried and I was in utter shock. Okay, this book had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I didn't know where it was going. Like I said, I don't understand all the strategy, but the characters are so awesome. And I honestly did not see the ending coming. I did not see it. It was really good. So I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again in other videos. But what happened was I was reading this book. I was in the middle of reading it, and I went to the library. And the girl that works at the library was like asking me if she should order for the library the rest of the books, I guess in soft cover. Because I did get something behind me. I did get it iron gold in hardback. And I'm going to read it this month, I believe. Yes, I believe so. Where is it? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It depends on if I get to it. I may put it in my I actually may have put it in my fall lineup. But anyways, in my September one. So anyways, back to the story. So she says, should we order them? And I was like, yes, yes, yes. But then I read the end of it. Now, yes, she should order them. And yes, I will continue the series. But this is the only happy ending they get. And I could leave Darrow in that somewhat happy ending. But I know there's more, so I just can't, you know? So anyways, I'm really looking forward to reading more of them and finding what they're up to next. I know that it's years in advance, and I know there's other characters, and he wrote the next set differently than he wrote these because he did it from one POV, and I think there's multi POVs. I'm just really excited. Pierce Brown is an awesome writer. Even though I don't understand all the strategy and everything, I still understand the characters. And so therefore it keeps me, the storyline keeps me there. And I really am enjoying it. I give that 5 stars. Okay, so my next one was Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Now, I felt like this was like I was reading 2 books at once. I was reading a romance book and I was reading a lit fiction. Margaret's story was the lit fiction. Her life story was so, I loved it. It was so good. And the romance was the longest slow burn I think I've ever read in a book. I mean, it was so slow burn. Okay. But I really loved the dynamics between Alice and Hayden. Margaret was an amazing character. I loved her story. I loved the history. I loved everything about it. It was just really good. I gave it 5 stars, I believe. And of course, yes, I did. I gave it 5 stars. And I know a lot of people talked about it, so I won't go into too much detail, but I will say it was a great story. And I know it gets a lot of, it's gotten some kind of hate, but to me, I think it was a great book and I loved it. And I really enjoy Emily Henry's writing. So there you go. Okay, this book, I'm not going to go into too much detail on because I am doing a reading vlog on it. I'm actually going to film the rest of that in a minute. But it is The Kitchen's God's Wife by Amy Tan. She also wrote The Joy Luck Club. This book is like over 30 years old, early 90s this was written. And I saw it online and I just thought, okay, those are good reviews. So I thought I'll go get it. And I think it's good to add some books, maybe not just new books, and add some older. And I like, that. So this is an account of Winnie and her life in China during World War II. And she lived a life that was filled with a lot of heartache. And as she's telling her story to her daughter, you see how much strength and resilience she had. And I just loved how innocent she was. She was just so innocent. And I love that. Even as an adult woman, even as a woman in her probably in her 60s, she was still very innocent. And I love that. I love that. You don't see that very much. And it was just something, it was just really nice. And I really loved it. And so I gave this 5 stars. And like I said, I have a vlog that will probably already have come out by this point when you get to see this. So I hope you watch it and it talks more about it. And I really enjoyed it. So yes, that was a 5 star. So this was my Frida for the month, and it was The Perfect Son. So when a local girl goes missing, Erica feels that her worst fears have come true. She has tried to protect her son from himself his whole entire life. This was a true Frida McFadden with the twist I really enjoyed. Now, Housemaid, I gave 5 stars. Never Live, I gave 5 stars. This I did give 4 stars. I don't know why, but I did. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It just wasn't a 5 star. Okay. But it was good. I will continue to read hers. I'm actually going to be doing a reading vlog with Frida McFadden books, hopefully soon. And so we'll talk about that more later. But yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I did not see the ending coming. I did not see the plot twist coming. I'm not one that's like super like, I can see them coming. So that may let that be what it be. Okay. So the final book that I actually listened to, and I realized I had forgotten to mention it, was To All the Boys That I Loved Before. Now, this is a book that I found on Libby. I was looking for something to listen to and I found it. And there's a series of 3 books and it's written by Jenny Han, who wrote The Summer I Turned Pretty. My daughter got me to watch this And honestly, I didn't remember a whole lot about it. So it didn't like, it's been a while since I watched it and it didn't really stick. So it wasn't a big deal for me to pick up the book and listen to it. I really enjoyed it. I think I plan on going back and watching it again, but I really think that I enjoyed the book much better than the Netflix adaptations of it. Big surprise there. I did give it 4 stars. It's a story about a little girl. Her name is Laura Jean. And somehow or another, in the chaos of her sister leaving, she has 2 sisters, a younger sister and an older sister. Her older sister leaves to go to the UK. I can't remember where exactly, but the UK to study abroad. And in the midst of all that chaos, her dad starts throwing stuff away. And then the next thing she knows, she can't find this hat box that she had where she wrote these 5 letters to 5 different boys from the time she was, I don't know how old she was when she started, until now. And she's like 16, 17 years old. And somehow or another, all these letters are gone. And then she receives a message that one of the boys has received her letter. So they got sent out. And she doesn't know how. She finds out how later. But it's this little love triangle. It's really cute. There's a little bit of drama. It's fairly clean, which I really enjoy when it's books that are marketed to children or to young adults. It does deal with some things, and I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm on the second one now, and I'm really invested, honestly, in this relationship. I do have a favorite character, young man. I do have a favorite. But he's kind of like, I don't know. This one, he's starting to lose me a little. But anyways, I'm just really enjoying it. And yeah, so that's it. I gave it 4 stars. So that is our reading wrap up. I have no physical books with me because I returned them all to the library. So I will be putting them up here, obviously. And I, again, said I had a really good reading month. I did read 2 nonfiction books, which I won't talk about those too much. I didn't write a thing on those. One was on menopause. It was good. But yeah, anyways, but I just thought I would stick to the fiction that I read this month. Sometimes I'll include my nonfiction. Depends on what it is. But anyways, so that's it. So I hope you guys are having a good reading month. And I hope to see you in the next one. And like and subscribe because there's some fun stuff I'm planning. And I hope you're here for it. Okay? Alrighty. Bye-bye. Okay, let me start over. So, it's campers, criminals. No, I'm sorry. Okay. It's campers. No. It's criminals. No. I'm looking right at it and I can't